Hi, welcome to AFTV. I've got Turkish with me. We've just drawn 2-2 to Tottenham Hotspur at the Emirates, North London derby. Not the way we thought it would go. Didn't lose, ended up with a point, but it was a poor performance from Arsenal. And I know you came out very angry and distressed. And I don't know how this fan camp's going to go. But first, just let off kind of what went wrong for Arsenal today, Turkish.
James said Arteta had a howler, and he did. The reason for that howler is injuries. But I'm not going to use injuries as an excuse. We've spent a lot of money now. Our depth should be at the required level to be able to cope. And I look at the decision to start Eddie, and I look at us when we do start Eddie, and I compare it to when we start Jesus up top, and we're a completely different side. Why? Because they are different strikers. You know, Jesus likes the ball to feet. He can drop in. He can spin one way. He can spin the other way. He can bring in the wingers. Eddie's not that. So I think that was the first big mistake, because it nullifies the amount of chances we can create in a game. And it's not only today we've seen that. We've seen that more or less every time Eddie has started in the past, since January, which isn't that many starts, but we are a different team. We don't create as many chances. We're not as fluid.
But he has helped us to win, Eddie, when he's in the side, though, Turkish. You were saying don't start him and bring in a Reece Nelson. He hasn't really done that, but Eddie has.
Reece Nelson won us game. What do you mean? Reece Nelson won us game last season.
Yeah, last season. I'm talking about this season, Eddie.
Yeah, but this season's 5 games in, bro. Tell me why we gave Reece Nelson a new contract then? Why? Because it's cute. Hale End. Oh, nice. Oh, we like him. He came up to... Is that why we gave him a contract?
He's a Hale End boy. Keep his value.
And this ain't me getting onto him. I like Reece. I think Reece should have started.
No, I know you did.
Because we're at home to Tottenham. Take the game to them. Pace, power, all of that.
Did you see that at all in the 90 minutes, say?
No.
Wow.
Did you see that at all?
Second 10 minutes, in the second 10 minutes, I feel like we gave him a little bit, but from then, I didn't really see much from Arsenal.
Odegaard in the first 20 minutes pressed like I haven't seen a man press before. Then he got a yellow card, and that pressing stopped. Aside from that first 20 minutes from Odegaard, I struggled to give any player out there more than a 5 today.
Wow.
More than 100%. Yes, Saka got 2 goals, but aside from a deflected shot and a penalty, he wasn't really in the game too. There's something tactically wrong at Arsenal, because it's not the first time this season where our performances haven't yielded a lot of chances. And this is just a big one because it's at home to Tottenham, a team we beat twice last year. So far this season, we've dropped points to 2 teams that we beat last year, Fulham and Tottenham. How are we going to catch City, bro?
I was going to come to this, and this is why I think you could change. You'd be a bit annoyed. You said about if Arsenal lose to Man City and they go 7 points ahead, then forget about the league and stuff. But City were 11 points behind us last season. I know there may still be a different beast.
Don't do it to yourself, bro. Yeah. Have you ever seen anyone catch City and Pep? Have you ever seen that? So what makes you think we are one of the youngest teams in the league? Let's not forget that one on top, because that's not an excuse. That's a fact. But we're not catching City if we go 7 points behind, even if it is October. I haven't seen one of the greatest Liverpool sides do it, let alone us. At the end of the day, where's our plan B? I called for a different type of striker in the summer. I just wanted a different type. I like Jesus starting up top, and cool. If you want to, remain intent on Eddie being part of the squad, cool. But Eddie's not a plan B. In the last 10, 15, 20 minutes of that second half, usually when you have one team that's the favourite, one team that's stronger, one team that's on a different trajectory, that team usually takes a grasp of the game, 2 hands round the neck, and, takes it to the other team. Whether they go on to win it or not, that's a whole different story. We didn't even do that. In the second half, we didn't create any chances. Vicario had 1 save to make from a Saka shot just outside the box. It was a good save.
Yeah, it was a good save.
But deep this. In the second half, we created nothing against Tottenham. That's not good enough, Cecil.
Yeah,
and at the end of the day, we spent 200 million. Okay, take away Timber from that. It's Declan Rice and Havertz. Rice has come off, injury, calf. Okay, cool. I get that. But Havertz comes on.
That might be Arteta's plan B. It hasn't worked. I don't think it's going to work, but that might be his plan B. I know he's not played up front. He's played up front sometimes for Arteta. James said he would like to have seen him up front. That is a different style. Don't get me wrong. I have my question marks over Havertz, but that could be the plan B that he might be looking at.
I don't see it a different style though. That's why I'm not disagreeing with you. And I don't think it was a plan B bringing in 65 million Havertz, because he started how many games to start the season? He lost his place to Vieira. That's what happened. Today was a chance for him to come off the bench at 1-1 and do something. He did nothing. Is it all Havertz? No, because most of them man didn't do nothing, especially in that second half. Like I said, most of the first half too. The first half was evens.
Yeah.
Draw, cool.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Second half, Tottenham deserved to win the game. They played better than us at the Emirates.
And that hurt. That's what hurts.
Of course, because bro, it hurts more because it's Tottenham and it's the North London derby. But the reality is, I really thought we're going to kick on from last season. And whether that's winning the title or not, that's a completely different story, because you can kick on and still lose to Man City.
Yeah.
You can have a better season than last year, get 90 points, concede 15 less goals and still lose to Man City. Man City are favourites. Man City must. But Arsenal need to get better than we was last season. We're still conceding. How many goals we conceded at home this season already? 2 to Fulham, 2 to Tottenham, 1 to Forest. That's already 5. And this was the 6th game of the season. It's not good enough. I can't lie to you. You can't start a season in this manner if you have any hope of competing with Manchester City come February, March, let alone April, May. And, we've got City in 2 weeks. At the moment, we're 4 points behind. We'll probably be 4 points behind come that one, unless we fuck it up against Bournemouth as well. Now, that one's a massive one, because if they beat us, bro, I can't see us clawing back. Not just 7 points. We'd have to claw back 9, 12 on top of them to be able to come out the back end as Premier League champions. But the reality is it was always a stretch. But there's problems. I can't lie. We're not as fluid as we was last season. Tactically, there seems to be a bit of a change, because the first few games of the season, I said, listen, Saka's missing Ben White. Yeah. Ben White's been there, but he doesn't overlap as much anymore. So there's something tactically changed behind the scenes for sure.
And so with all that money spent in the summer and all the, I don't think we started the season amazingly well, but we haven't been beaten. Where's your hope right now? It seems like it's just on the floor for this Arsenal side.
Listen, we're not winning the Premier League in my opinion. People might say it's early. That's understandable. It is early, but like I said, tell me a team who's managed to catch City being 4 to 7 points behind, let alone 7+ behind. So I'm preempting something that hasn't happened yet. But if we can't beat Tottenham at the Emirates, then who's confident about City coming in 2 weeks? No Rodri, no De Bruyne. So what? We've got our own injury problems now. So as much as, yes, them without Rodri is nice, them without De Bruyne is nice. Yeah, have you seen us without Martinelli? Have you seen us without Jesus up top? Have you seen us without Rice and without Xhaka? Because now we're going to see that maybe potentially next week, because last season we had Xhaka, this season Rice every game. Now we ain't got either. What happens next? Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what happens. We'll have two Chelsea players from 2 years ago that they wasn't happy with in their starting midfield. I'm worried. I can't lie.
Bro, I can see in your face.
Bro, come on. Tottenham came here, Ange Postecoglou came and bettered us. And that's not they don't have Harry Kane no more either, on top of all these reasons.
This is why that I agree with what you're saying here. He's come to our home ground and to Postecoglou as well, and it's like, it's not acceptable.
And then you take off Jesus. You take off Jesus instead of Ed. How did Eddie play how did Eddie play 100 minutes? That's what he played? Yes. How did Eddie play 100 minutes?
That's a question for Arteta.
What's going on?
That's a question for Arteta, yeah.